Hello and welcome to the Art Saddle podcast. I'm Copper Kelly. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Keenan. Say hello, Keenan.
Hello, what's the story, Copper? How are you? And hello to everyone listening.
I'm flying, Keenan. And we are joined this week by a special guest. It's Alanna Brunton. How are you, Alanna?
Yay, I'm delighted to be here. I'm doing very well. Thanks, Copper, Keenan. It's great to be on the podcast. I'm looking forward to chatting and having a laugh over the next hour or so on the podcast. Yeah. We could be going all night. I don't know.
A chat and a laugh is what we have over in this place. And yeah.
I'm in the right spot, so.
You are in, you found the place. You found the door.
So on this episode, we're going to be chatting a little bit about some music news. There's some deaths, unfortunately, that we'll chat about. We'll chat to Alanna about her life in radio and how she got there, how she's getting on, and so on. And also, we'll chat about the Nickelback copyright lawsuit. So that's all in store on this episode. But I suppose before we do, Keenan, if you'd like to shout out where people can find us on the socials.
Well, the socials, that's the good one. And that's my job to shout them out. So you can find the Art Saddle podcast everywhere. We're on Facebook, the Art Saddle podcast. We're on the Instagram as the Art Saddle podcast. We are on YouTube as the Art Saddle podcast, and Gmail, theartsaddle@gmail.com. You can send in if there's anything you want us to chat about, if there's any guests you want us to have on, if you have any dad jokes, we're getting into our dad joke scene. And if you want to donate an fucking spicy euro for us to make more content on our Patreon, you can go to www.patreon.com/The Art Saddle.
The Art Saddle podcast.
Art Saddle podcast. There you go.
I should probably know that off the top of my head, but
goddamn.
I know Keenan wants the spice bags, so if you want to donate to Keenan, get some spice bags from himself.
I want me spice bags. I want to fatten myself up. So you donate €1, you get 4 extra episodes a month, and that's 25 cents an episode. And we have other plans to do. Wacky stuff, drinking games and just stupid shit. So come on and laugh with us. So you can find us all in them lovely places.
That's it. But before we get on any more, we'll say hello to Alanna properly. Would you like to introduce yourself, Alanna?
Yeah.
Give us a lowdown on who you are.
I was just thinking as well that extra euro for Keenan will also get him a curry dip to go with his spice bag as well.
Yeah.
You know it. You're smart thinking. You're smart thinking.
Okay, so go ahead and introduce myself, I guess. My name is Alanna Brunton. I'm a presenter, a broadcaster on 103.2 Dublin City FM. I've been hosting the Saturday Brunch show the last 2 years now. So that's an hour-long magazine-style show, usually interviewing those in the arts, architecture, current affairs, that kind of thing. I guess anyone who has an interesting story we like to have a chat with. We play music throughout. I've had some very esteemed guests. I've had none other than Copper Kelly and Keenan Flannery on it as well. So that's been brilliant. With variation program.
Who are them guys? They sound great.
So that's been great. Like I got into radio. I'm 23 now, but I got into radio, I'd say the start of it when I was about 17, back in 2014. I always liked talking, having a chat, probably like yourselves, lads.
Yeah.
And my dad heard an ad on Dublin City FM when one of their biggest shows for listenership is Live Drive. So people go on and they listen to traffic reports. Basically, that's where their highest listenership is.
Yeah. So
he heard an ad to say that they were looking for people, and you could do like a day-long course and basically audition or build up a demo tape that you could send off to other stations to look for work. So I was 17 then, and even though I was over 18s only, I called them and I asked, could I do it?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, no, that's all good. But then when I went to actually get on a program, I wasn't old enough, so I had to wait. And then
you didn't do like a Nadine from, what's that girl band? Nadine up in the north. She fluffed her birth certificate and got onto the TV show and got into that girl band. What was it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't that badass enough. Yeah, I think I kind of gave myself away at the beginning when I called up and I said, I'm 17, but can I please do this? So I wrote honesty from the beginning. And then I ended up doing something completely different in college. I ended up doing architecture. I'm doing my master's in it now. And I ended up going down to Limerick for my first year. So I kind of went away from radio in Dublin anyway. And then I came back and I got in contact with them. And I've been on the show since. So.
Brilliant. So you're there 2 years, you said?
Yes. Yeah, almost.
So you probably started just around the time the world ended. Or just before, was it?
Yeah, it was just before, actually. That's a good point. Before. So I would have started like summer. I was away in a J1 summer 2019, and then when I came back I had a fresh new outlook on the world, and I said I'm going to contact these and I'm going to get a show. And I got put on. So for a while, when you're starting out, they basically when other shows are on, they're looking for like a place to put you, or where you might be most suitable, where you have free time, or where your interests are. They'll put you basically in the kind of where the sound desk is, and you can sit in and listen to shows. So say I got to listen to one of the movie shows where there was two presenters in one of the rooms and one of the studios, and then I was sitting in the sound room with the sound engineer, listening in how they do it, taking notes and stuff. So then I got put on Saturday brunch, it was the show that had availability and probably most interest to me, because there's a lot of variation. Like, you do 3 interviews of like 10 to 15 minutes in the hour. You also do your intros, your outros, maybe 3 to 4 songs, and then you also do an event guide. So I feel like it's probably the best one of the best training you can get, like, to do any show, because there's so much in it.
It's a wide palette. You have interviews and you have music and event guides. It's like, that's more than a lot of DJs do, I'd say. Yeah.
So it's a lot to focus on. So at the beginning, like, I'd be in the sound studio, or I'd be in the kind of live studio where you can bring guests in and out. And then in this kind of sound studio where the desk is and the sound engineer is, they'd be doing like phone calling your guests, connecting them up. And they'd help you bring live guests in and out, in person if they were coming to the studio pre-COVID. They do a lot of the tasks. So then when COVID came, I was doing lots of pre-records. So I was putting the whole show together. So you can nearly like you pretty much say that you present and produce the show, because you're compiling the whole thing. And then as we're allowed back slowly into the studio, I decided that I wanted to get fully trained so I could do sound desk and present at the same time.
Brilliant.
So, and they got a new sound desk. So it's just been great for all around knowledge in radio. So it's a lot of multitasking though for a show like that on a sound desk. It's different, I guess, maybe not taking anything away from the person who maybe only does same music show, but there's a lot more, doing the calls while the different tracks are on, connecting the phone up to the sound desk, all those different kind of things.
Well, it's so much there, and then you also have to do 3 interviews, songs, and an event guide in an hour. And you really, like, time management, I reckon, is something like, that's a skill that, like, I think no matter what career you do, time management is just really fucking important. And some people struggle with it. So I feel like, if anything, like, you're getting like having to be on the dot with that is something that's going to stand to you kind of way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. It is sometimes hard though, when you're doing an interview, and I guess I'm looking at the clock really intensively, but others, like, if you're someone on the other end of the phone that I'm interviewing, like, mightn't be fully aware.
Yeah.
Mind you, Keenan, your time management, your time management, sorry, Copper is all about the sound. Keenan's time management on live radio is very good. I'm going to put that out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because Copper would always say that I talk a lot of shy, which I do agree with.
I have to stop him.
But, no, I think when I have no time, like when someone doesn't say to me, just we're gonna have to keep moving things on, or it's about 10 minutes. I just go. I'm just off like a fucking just a fucking head case. Do you know what I mean? So but when someone gives me a time, I think my brain kind of ticks in. It's like when when you wake up before you're an alarm.
Yes.
You know that kind of way. That kind of your brain goes, we need to go.
I'm the opposite now because I'm used to podcasting, this like long form chatting, and we're already been talking for 10, 15 minutes, and like it feels like nothing. Whereas whereas the conversation with you is like 10 minutes, and like, oh, it was over already. Oh, okay. I'll chat for an hour, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
I'm a bit different that way, but yeah, I suppose you have no bother filling time in that hour anyway. You kind of, probably have to cut stuff, I'd say, do you?
Yeah, there's definitely no issue with filling it. And sure, look, if something goes wrong in radio as well, and say you can't fill the time or you can't get in contact with someone, I know they have this phrase that if you don't know what's next, there is no next, because it's just dead air,
Yeah,
so I always would have like a track thrown in, like an emergency track, or I'd have a CD in. So if anything should go wrong, I will just turn off my mic and throw off the fader, play the track, and see if I can sort out whatever. I think also on radio, there's no shame in if something is going wrong. You've got and you've played the track and it's played out, and all of a sudden you're on. Like you have to say something, or I think there's no harm in saying that. Listen, we're having some issues because it's
exactly.
You're only human.
That's it. People are people. Things. Yeah. How do you have any what's the like? Have you ever been kept up late at night over something that happened, or do you have any wild stories about because it just sounds so like hectic and intense, like that hour slot. Like when we were chatting to you, you had me and Copper on, and we'd be listening and we'd hop on for the 10 minutes and we'd chat, and they'd be like, oh, grand. But like you're in the war zone, like, do you know what I mean? You're in the trenches for that hour. Like, so do you have any wild stories of?
I don't think I have any like horror stories, but I do little things like getting a person's name wrong on air isn't that's a bit awkward. That happened to me once. I think I might have done it twice to him in the one thing. His name was I'm gonna get wrong again.
Can't remember it now.
I think his name was Neil, and I kept calling him Niall, like something in my head.
I have that thing as well. It's like name dyslexia or something. I have that exact same thing. There's Neil, you call it Niall or something like that. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I hated myself for it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So there was that, and then I guess at times probably just where people didn't pick up and there was no track in, and maybe I was in the other studio, had no control over what was going on. I just had to talk whatever comes out of my head.
Fly by the seat of your pants. That's what we generally do anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's usually all right.
Yeah. If we were put on radio, we would immediately get sacked. We can talk, but like that's why we do a podcast. We stay away from radio and the rules. You will not control us, radio. We'll fucking say whatever the fuck we fucking want.
Yeah, you can curse too. It's great. Oh yeah, you can curse on this, by the way.
Fuckity fuck. Yeah. I'm one of them people. My mother would always say, she'd be like, "Now make sure you don't curse." And I'm like, yeah, I won't. And I don't. But then, like, when I do podcasts like this, and I'm like talking shit with Copper, it's like it just
floodgates open.
Yeah, you just curse when you're laughing or you're like talking shit. So it's like,
when you're comfortable, this is your safe space. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess what I was going to say then is when I don't know what's happening or something bad happens, you talk shite.
Exactly.
So, yeah. What's the go-to?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go on.
I was just saying, like, speaking of rules, I know that sometimes like DJs and radio channels, like big radio channels, say Today FM or wherever, the DJs don't really have control over what songs they play. They're kind of a playlist sent from up on high, and you're told play these songs now, and that's it. Do you have more control over your songs, or? Yeah,
I would. I know, like, so Dublin City FM would be like community radio, and then you have the bigger commercial stations.
Yeah.
So they'd have different, for their kind of, let's say, license, they'd have different requirements that they have to follow. If they're not following them, you lose your license to broadcast.
Okay.
So the biggest one for community radio, well, that I've experienced, is that you need to make sure you're playing Irish tracks. I'm not sure the exact percentage.
Yeah, I think I heard that's like 20% or 30%.
Yeah, I think it's 25% at least. I try and play as much as possible, just to...
You get your quota with us anyway, so that's all right.
Yeah, exactly. But sure, look, it's great. And like the databases for the station, they'd have so many Irish tracks, whereas let's say foreign tracks may not be full. So that would be the big one. I guess there's also no like cursing on air and things like that, like we just discussed. It's actually often when you accidentally play a song that isn't the clean version of a song.
Oh yeah,
that's happened a couple of times. Or like
the CeeLo Green, Forget You, and you get the wrong version.
And would you get like fined for having a curse on air, or like what is the protocol behind like?
I don't know. It's never happened to me. But
that's good.
Knock on wood.
You're like, oh God, yeah. You just feel like, oh goodness, haven't heard, but maybe I'll do a bit of digging, see if anyone ever has gotten in trouble.
Well, if you ever trip up, just send us a message and let us know the fallout of what happened.
Exactly.
Send us a clip and we'll play it on the podcast and have a good laugh.
Yeah, cool. And then bigger stations, there's a lot more of you must say this, mention this, play these particular tracks. It's a lot more controlled. I'd say with community radio, you do have a lot more freedom with what you say and how you present your show, etc.
Yeah. So because like say Today FM or won't name names. I just did, but anyway, they play the same songs every hour. It's same songs every day for months on end. It seems like, and it's like Groundhog Day. It's just, oh Jesus Christ, turn it off. Like you can hear a song so many times.
Yeah, that movie Groundhog Day. I don't know. I know it's really successful, but I just never warmed to it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I actually know a lot of people that don't like the film. Like I didn't like it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good film.
Yeah, and he punches your man across as he's crossing the street. And all this, it's just classic film. Sure, Bill Murray, but it's fairly dark at times.
It is. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But you have that Tom Cruise film is like that then as well. It's that Tom Cruise Edge of Tomorrow where he's like fighting aliens and he keeps dying and then replaying the same day to fight the aliens. Did you ever see that one? No.
Well, no, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that one now. What's it called?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. I'm gonna write that down.
I think that's called. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. A lot of people don't like Tom Cruise, but I like that. He's funny in that. If you want to see him die over and over again, you might get a kick out of that. But so I suppose we'll move on to the news.
Okay.
News with Keenan. Do you have any news, Keenan? Oh my!
Yes,
he's a clipperboard.
Clipperboard.
What's it called? Clapperboard.
Clapperboard. Yeah, when we did the double take at the start, I just seen it as we started again, and I was like, shit, we should have done it. We should have done because you. Like, Alanna, you said take 2, and I was like, man, the clipperboard! Should have fucking took it out! But yeah, I thought, with me, there's no news going on. There's a couple of deaths, and obviously we have the big story of the Nickelback lawsuit with,
Snowblind Revival, I think it was.
Was it? Yeah, Snowblind. Yeah. I knew there was something in there with like Creedence Clearwater Revival. One of them words were just robbed. Snowblind
Revival.
Snowblind Revival. There's that, but we'll get into that. But it's kind of unfortunate because Don, what was the second name? Don Everly. Everly, that's it. Yeah. Everly of the Everly brothers.
The Everly brothers, yeah.
Yes, so like one of the biggest rock duos.
I suppose so, yeah.
Rock, yeah.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Yeah. So Don Everly passed away. He was part of the Everly brothers, and was born in 1937. So, geez, I suppose he had a good run of it anyway. He was 84.
85. That's not too bad now. That's not too shabby.
Ah,
If I make it to that age, I'll be happy enough now, so I will.
that's it. But yeah, he died there. I think it was Saturday. So that's today, isn't it? Yeah, today's
Did they sing that
today's
song?
Sunday.
They sing that one like "I only wanna be with you." Is that
I think that's the
right?
one. I think so. Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar
I
with
was
their stuff
never
either.
I knew they were huge, but I never really kind of listened to them a lot. But I knew they had like that's quite a big. They wrote a lot of songs as well for other artists, I believe.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna name who because I haven't a fucking breeze, but I just know that they've written songs for like pretty big artists. So
They
yeah,
influenced the Beatles and Simon and Garfunkel's.
there you go.
They were well known for their harmonies.
So
Which I love the old harmonies, like Beach Boys and that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. So they would have influenced all these kind of people.
So yeah, he croaked it.
Oh no, they sang "All I Have to Do Is Dream." Do you know that? That's a big song.
Yeah.
Sing it to us.
Yeah, go on, sing it then.
Oh, now I'm forgetting it, but like I know it. 1 second. 1
We're putting
second.
you on the spot now, so yeah.
I'll get a moment now.
Drop a beat.
No, it's like dream, 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 dream. Do you know that one? No.
Dream, 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 dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something like that, isn't it? Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, no, I recognise that they say dream like a million times in the song, don't they?
Yeah, it's like starts off like that.
And they have other songs like When Will I Be Loved and Bye Bye Love. All these kind of stuff. Wake up, Susie, I think.
This is just
Wake
a
up, little Susie.
podcast of 3 people talking about a death of someone that they have no clue about.
They don't really know anything about them.
Yeah,
let's move on.
I know them.
Yeah.
I know them well. Oh no, they were born where? Oh no,
he was great on the drink, so he was.
Yeah. They were 2 gas brothers. They were.
But yeah, you were saying, Keenan, that they kind of overshadowed the news of Don Everly overshadowed the news of Tom T. Hall.
Tom T. Hall, yes, one of
legend.
the legendary country. I would call him a storyteller. A lot of people have all the death notices are like storyteller more so than songwriter. He wrote
Harper Valley PTA. Is that one of them?
one of his ones.
Yeah, Harper Valley PTA.
Fucking.
And but I love the song. I love beer.
I like beer.
I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow. He likes beer. That's a great song.
Tom T. Hall. Yeah, he what else did he sing? He has that one song. That's How I Got to Memphis, which is just such a great banger. And I don't know if you know Charlie Crockett.
Not too much, no.
Charlie Crockett.
Davy Crockett. That's the old guy with the raccoon hat, is it?
Yeah. Well, it's not him. But good guess.
Okay.
He done a cover of it and he's gonna make it famous again. So yeah, he passed away. And
he was 85.
Yes, he was. They're all old. You know what I mean? A lot of them would have been, especially in the rock and roll and country scene, the old lads, like they want the healthiest, as they would say. So fair play to them getting to 80, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking
hard rock and roll lifestyle.
I'd say, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we'll leave the death notices now and we'll do some dad jokes. How about that? I have one for you, right?
Okay.
The inventor of the Ferris wheel and the inventor of the merry-go-round never met. Can you think why? Because they traveled in different circles.
Don't condone his behavior. Don't condone this behavior out of him.
Wait till you hear my ones. That was actually all right, like, you know.
I need to pull up some because I don't have any off the dome. But go on, Alanna.
You have some. Yeah, you hit us on there.
It's only right that in the middle of August or towards the end of August, I start bringing in Christmas stuff, right? Okay, so why is Rudolph always wet?
Is this going to be filthy now or what?
Yeah, it sounds a bit dirty, but it's not.
Okay, go ahead. Why is Rudolph always wet?
Because he's a reindeer.
Ah.
That's okay. That's okay. That's
It's
okay.
all right.
Keenan, now you have to top all those two jokes.
I will tell you one. I'm trying to find one.
Now.
Yeah, no. If you have another one there, shoot me one. Do you know,
I have one from Carol Lewis, our patron, one of our patrons there. She sent me this during the week. I was very surprised at her. I thought she's a nice girl, but let's see what you think of this one. What goes
Carol.
in hard and dry but comes out wet and soft? Chewing gum.
Carol, you dirty dog, yeah. That's awful behaviour. Now we're a clean Catholic podcast, so we don't have this behaviour on here.
So we fucking are, aren't we?
We fucking are. I'll give you one here.
Do you have one?
Yeah. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's just a soap opera.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was the reaction that deserved. All was
Yeah. So that's the best dad jokes. I always get that kind of reaction. Anyway, just oh.
Oh yeah. I must
Grown.
remember that, and then you never remember.
Yeah. But yeah, let's I suppose move on to one of the main talking points of this episode. Anyway, apart from our lovely guest Alanna.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have Nickelback is being taken to court. A lawsuit has been filed against them alleging copyright infringement in relation to their 2005 track Rockstar. And I think we're all familiar with that song. You know, the tired of standing in line, clubs will never get in. You know, that's old song. But there's a band called Snowblind Revival who back 16 years ago recorded a song called basically I think it's called Rockstar.
It's called Rockstar.
Yeah, it's just called Rockstar. And they sent it off they printed off a few copies and sent it off to a few record labels. And I think they didn't really hear it back. But they say that these record labels then passed on the song to Nickelback, who then recorded their own version of the song, and alleges that the tempo, the song form, melodic structure, harmonic structure, and lyrical themes are very similar. But I don't know, have you actually listened to the song?
Yes.
Yeah. It's what do you think? What do you think, Alanna? Does it sound anything like it?
Personally, I don't think they really have a leg to stand on. I think Rockstar by Nickelback is so much better. Okay, I know
it's the best song ever written.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like we're not fucking beating around the bush here.
Like the other chap is singing about wanting to be a rock star.
Yeah.
Sitting like doing a demo.
Yeah.
Isn't
that really ironic though? Isn't that really funny? He's like, I'm gonna be a rock star, and it's just this shitty demo that he did in his basement. It's like, okay, dude. Like his mom probably recorded it for him. You know,
I guess I wasn't overly impressed, and like Nickelback didn't really copy him, did they? Because they already are rock stars. So.
Exactly. I think the only similarity between two songs is the words Rockstar. And that's it.
Yeah, agreed.
That's it. Because the melody of your man's song is like, I want to be a rock star one day. And that's it. Like, that's the chorus. And then the verses are nothing like, the Nickelback song. And they don't have Billy Gibbons singing, when are you going to do it? And all that kind of stuff.
And they don't have the lads from American County Chopper. I don't know if you've...
No.
I forgot that they were in the video.
Yeah,
and apparently
bunnies.
What?
The Playboy Bunnies. They don't have Playboy Bunnies in their video.
Don't Playboy Bunnies either.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, come on, like, they're not...
But, like, there's a lot of shit that was talked about in that thing. It was like, tempo. Well, like, how do you rob someone's tempo?
One of the most common tempos is 120 BPM. Like, you're going to start, going to every single song. That's been in 120
when I listened
BPM.
to it, the only similarity I noticed was the drums, but they were like really, really like simple 4/4 kind
Basic
of like
stuff, yeah.
snare, hi-hat, simple shit. And like, I've probably, if you want to look at it that way, I probably ripped off the song as well, because I've used that similar fucking drum pattern in song. And the lyric content, which is so stupid, because like, you want to be a rock star. There's only so many fucking things a rock star can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's no lyrics, but there's no in the original, or the original, I'll say, in the Snowblind Revival. It's not like, lining up at the club, I can't get in, and taking too much drugs, and all this kind of. It's none of that. Like it's none of that lyrical content.
And
So
I think Rockstar by Nickelback is actually catchy. Whereas when you listen to, I know the other one, in fairness, was just a demo, but you don't particularly want to listen to it the full way through.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. It's very repetitive.
Basic. You can tell where it's going to go straight away. And
you're kind of only listening out because you're waiting to see which part sounds really similar to Nickelback. And for me, it never really came. And I was thinking, I would have switched that off ages ago.
Yeah,
it just doesn't have the same appeal that theirs had. So
yeah.
But didn't a judge rule in favor of Nickelback? Like, Nickelback should be sued. Like, there was a thing that I read somewhere.
Yeah,
one of the judges.
Yeah, I think the judge basically, I think he just wants to pass it on. He's like, this case is on my table now. I don't know enough about this, but it sounds like it could be a legitimate case. So I'll say, okay, and I'll pass it on to the next judge. I think that's what happened. It's just the judge is like, I don't want to deal with this, pass it on.
Okay, yeah.
So like being like, yeah, you take the case now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And like, if they're going after Nickelback's song Rockstar, they might as well go after that, that Mark Wahlberg film, Rockstar. So that one, do you ever see that one? Jennifer Aniston. It's an old film where he becomes the lead singer of a heavy metal band.
Okay.
He was the lead singer
Mark
of
Wahlberg.
the tribute band. Yeah. Did you never see this? No?
No way.
He was the lead singer of like the tribute band to the rock band. But then the rock band itself lost their singer, so they got Mark Wahlberg up to the main rock band.
That's a good concept.
Yeah, and it's actually based on real life. It was Judas Priest. I think was it Judas Priest? Yeah, I think it was Judas Priest. They lost their singer for a while, Rob Halford, and then they got the guy from the tribute band to come up and sing with them. So it was based on that. But yeah, it's called Rockstar, so they might as well go after them for that idea as well. For the name of the film. So it's just...
Fun fact? Did you know that Mark Wahlberg and Mark Wahlberg, that's his name.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I got it right in my brain. Had a brain fart there.
Guys.
He in like the fucking 90s, he used to do walkout rap tapes, and his rap name was Marky Mark.
Marky Mark and
the
Funky Bunch.
The Funky, yes. and I remember so clearly seeing because there's such a vivid memory of the start of his like Get Fit workout tape where he's like in bed and the fella comes in and is like, fucking pancakes, and Mark Wahlberg gets out with a 6-pack and he's like, I'm gonna eat some fucking pancakes, and he's like, it's all like fucking hip hop rap scratch tracks, like yo, and it's high-fiving people and acting cool with a backward snap. That guy's awesome, man. I like Mark Wahlberg. I kind of want to be Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean?
So I was questioning things. Mark Wahlberg, you guys.
We should do a walkout tape.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll bench press you, Keenan, right?
We had a pinnacle of male health. So yeah, is that right, Cabo?
We sure are. Takes a slug. So it's, I don't know, that case doesn't have a leg to stand on, I don't think.
Nickelback are a great band. Love me a bit of Nickelback.
Because a lot of people give them shit. I actually, are you being sarcastic? Or are you being
No, I actually really like them. No, and you're right, Copper, because when I was looking up the Rockstar music video, because I hadn't seen it in ages, and you said you were going to talk about it, So I was looking in the comments and everyone was saying like, you can say what you want about Nickelback, but this song is stellar. And I know Nickelback gets a hard time, but this song is amazing. People who say they hate Nickelback secretly listening to this song all the time. Like, I didn't realize there was such kind of a hate campaign against them until I read those comments.
It's massive. It's going for years. It's nuts. Like people just absolutely live to hate on Nickelback. They just love it. And I think they're a fucking hugely talented bunch of guys and have great songs. Like, Leader of Men was like one of their earlier songs. I think it's like one of the best songs ever written. Kind of, maybe not, but it's a really good song. And then they have other great ones as well. Like, and they have some like almost like metal songs. How You Remind Me. I've played that a few times, like open mics and stuff for the crack.
Yeah,
and I get people singing along with me, so people like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. What do you think, Keenan? You're going to come in now and say, Nickelback's shite.
No,
I left all the comments on that music video.
Yes, that's all me. All my million channels. No, growing up, I would have heard a lot of more the music I would have got into myself from Kerrang. And like you always had like, this is how you remind me, or whatever the name of the song was. How You Remind Me. Rockstar. And what was the other one you said, Alanna? I forget the name of it.
Like Picture. Look at this photograph.
Look at this. Yeah, did you ever see the memes? I was like, look at this graph. But I would have heard all that. And I really liked them. I thought they were awesome. Now, I just think it's easy to hate them. It's like when people bash on like pineapple on pizza. It's like just easy to hate on it. You know what I mean? It's like
the best pizza, Hawaiian. Come on. It's like the best.
Like,
it's nice and juicy.
I believe if you haven't tried it, it's like, why bash on it? Most people that bash on the Hawaiian pizzas have not tried Hawaiian pizzas. Yeah. Most people that bash on Nickelback probably heard them once, kind of forgot. Someone told them to hate Nickelback and they were like, okay. And then you listen to them, you're like, you know what, man? There's like shittier stuff on the radio right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if they were on the radio now, I would listen. Like I'd be tuning into fucking FM 104 to listen to Nickelback every day, but I'm not. So
and you'd be singing along as well.
Oh yeah, they know how to write a catchy tune, like so.
They do.
And if they played Nickelback, if they're playing Nickelback and you turn the radio on, you probably wouldn't change it over.
No.
Probably.
You wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, this is. Remember these?
Yeah, exactly.
You should play some Nickelback on the.
I will.
Yes.
I just love the idea, just like right there.
To hold it to it now.
I'll play next Saturday.
You get lots of comments now and messages say, "What the fuck are you playing them bollocks as far?"
Yeah.
The whole copyright thing in music is kind of getting a bit crazy done the last few years, isn't it? Like it's kind of. I think wasn't it Katy Perry? She was done recently by some rapper. For literally 3 notes, 3 descending notes, dun, dun, dun. Something like that. And she was done for it, and she has to pay some of the royalties of that song to this rapper guy. And it's just, it's not there, dude. It's not like, it's just these like lawsuit trolls, these patent trolls. They're coming out with like copyright trolls now looking for anything at all, any scrap of, oh, you played 2 chords together, they sound the same. Oh, it must be a rip-off. No, dude.
Isn't it kind of interesting, like going back to Nickelback being taken to court, why wasn't this brought up years ago? Is it because it's only popular now?
It's not even popular now anymore. It's popular. It was popular back in 2005. So
but it's popular. Maybe it's popular to people for this kind of thing. Yeah. Like maybe
it's popular to copyright people now.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, because I think what's happening is the minute you get in front of a judge, your odds are up to win, because a lot of these judges are like old farts that know nothing about music. So what they do is, like, to our ears, we'll go, that sounds similar, but there is a line of like copyright infringement and inspiration. No one's like, all artists are original, but I believe like all artists are like a concoction of all their influence. That keeps falling, for fuck's sake. There you go. But all artists are a concoction of their influences.
Yeah.
So to say that, like, you know, we'd listen to a song and have these 3 descending notes and go, oh, that reminds me of this song. But nothing else reminds me of that song.
No.
But it's just maybe they were inspired by it and they liked it. Because music, there's only so much you can do, you know?
There's only, 12 notes on a scale, pretty much, and that's it.
So that's it.
Whatever combination you put those notes in.
But if you whack on in front of a judge that knows nothing about music, he's just being told, this is a copyright case, do these sound the same? And he's like, they do. And then you're fucked. And then you get sued or whatever. And it's like, you can't really do anything. You know what I mean? Because it's like...
And of course, it is a different case. If I came out with a song now tomorrow and I go, like Keenan's song, Manchester Streets, and I go, burn the whole place down. And I did that, my own song. I said, I wrote that now. And that's a different case altogether. That is copyright infringement. But if it's something like use similar chord structures, then come on. I guess, you know, it's a bit silly. Like,
yeah.
But then, you know, like, do you ever see that Axis of Awesome YouTube video where they get like Pachelbel's Canon, that melody, and they start playing tons and tons of songs. Or no, not even Pachelbel's Canon. I think it was, anyway, there's like 4 or 5 chords, and they start playing these 4 or 5 chords, and they start switching into loads and loads of different pop songs from over the years, and they all sound legit.
Oh, they're like 3 are they like 3 comedians that do it? Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
And even, was it Maroon 5 came out with a song like a year ago or 2 years ago that was like Pachelbel's Canon, like specifically. And obviously that song is an old classical song that's out of copyright, so people can rip away on it, as you could say. But like, and like, copyright is like 70 years past the author's death. And then that's how long a copyright lasts on a piece of work or a piece of music. But then like old classical stuff, you can, if I wanted to get Mozart suite number 5 or whatever and make a song of it, I can, because, you know, it's well out of copyright. But if I wanted to take Keenan's song, I couldn't until he was dead for 70 years. You know what I mean? Then I can call it my own. But,
noted.
Noted. Yeah. I'll hurry up, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah. And there's even, I think there's these guys, they got some MIDI, and they basically use like a computer program to program like all the combinations and permutations of like the notes on like the notes that you can have in music. And they've basically recorded those melodies to a hard drive, and that hard drive contains all the known and possible combinations of melodies ever to be known to man. And what he could do is copyright that and sue everyone, but he doesn't, because it's like, it's more of a project to kind of show that it could be done, more than he will do it for, you know, to be a troll and start suing everyone.
I did see that. Yeah,
you saw that.
And with the system that's in place now for copyright, like, he's well in his rights to like just start suing away. Like, he's fucking, which is kind of fucking nuts, like, you know. But you
can just call yourself the god of music, like
the god of music.
Yeah.
Real Tenacious D vibes there.
Yeah.
So it's we're going to see a hell of a lot more of this kind of stuff, and there will be songs that there will be rip-offs. Like, that's just going to be a case as well. I think, wasn't it Blurred Lines? What's that song that that guy Robin Thicke? They ripped off a Marvin Gaye song or something like that, I think it was.
Yeah, I seen
with
that.
the bass line. I think that was more of a case, more of a leg to stand on than this one anyway, the Rockstar one. So I think we'll see a lot more of this kind of thing coming along in the next few years.
And do you have a lot of artists that are kind of half knowingly taking precedent off another song, and they contact the person and they say, listen, can I release my song even though it's taking parts of yours, but I will pay you X amount?
Yeah. That's the thing as well, yeah.
Yeah. That happens, doesn't it? And that's all okay.
Yeah. I think, didn't that happen to Taylor Swift? Look What You Made Me Do. And that took kind of I don't know, it wasn't too like it, but it kind of took inspiration, or perhaps from Right Said Fred. I think I'm Too Sexy. Wasn't it something like that? I think she had to give them credit on that. Look what you made me do. So they got a nice little paycheck from that. It's a and Ed Sheeran got caught for a few things as well, didn't he?
I heard one where was it one of the lads from One Direction? They paid Noel Gallagher for taking like a large piece of one of his songs.
Yeah. Oh,
So
and you know the one song that's a complete blatant rip-off. I remember I was working in a call center one time, and every time we had to call into another department, we got One Direction best song ever in our ear holes, fucking multiple times a day, every day for months on end. And it was like the first chorus is doom, 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 which is basically Who. It's a Baba O'Reilly.
Oh.
So it's exactly the same. But I don't think I've ever heard of anyone giving out about that for some reason, unless they credited them or there's some back behind the scenes deal on it or something like that. But it's a complete blatant rip off.
Or each one just does not want to be associated with the other, so they just turn a blind eye or whatever.
Maybe. Yeah. But
there's a song that from Oasis, so Slip Inside the Eye.
Don't Look Back in Anger, is it?
Don't Look Back in Anger. And the start of that, I'm gonna fucking put it into my ears real quick because it sounds.
Start of it doesn't sound a bit like Let It Be.
That's the one. That's one. The piano. The piano. I always, every time I hear that, I'm like, which song is this? And then you hear,
which way is this gonna go?
And you're like, oh, it's Oasis, or it doesn't. So. But I might actually look into that for the next episode.
All right,
and kind of see what, because it's that's like blatantly obvious. But they're like two huge bands, so you kind of go, did he like maybe get the rights to do it? Did he pay for it? Did it just get swept under the rug?
Or is it enough to say that they loved the Beatles and the Beatles is why they began? It's hard to know.
Yeah.
I know because Liam Gallagher was like, I don't know, do you say Gallagher or Gallagher? They call themselves Gallagher.
I think in England they say Gallagher, but in Ireland we say Gallagher.
Gallagher,
yeah.
Galahad, great old can.
Galahad,
Up to Galahad.
I got tins.
But yeah, it's all weird. I think that's how. That like no, I was just saying like.
We should study music law. If that's even a thing.
And I think with music law and all that shit, like the things we see in court, like a lot of the similarities that we see in music probably got dealt with behind closed doors. Someone reached out to someone, or maybe it could have easily been like, even with that Oasis Beatles thing where Oasis reached out and was like, we're really big fans. We took this idea. Is that okay? And maybe like fucking Ringo was like, yeah, I'm Ringo. Yeah. And he was like, I like cool or whatever. Do you know what I mean? He fucking did something like that. So you never know. But like it's just when they go to court, that's when you start hearing about them. But there's so many similarities in songs. Like once we get off call, we'll all start fucking thinking about different songs. Like, do you remember that song or that one or that one? So it all started clicking with.
Yeah. Well, Alanna, tell me this. What are your hopes and dreams for the future of your radio career?
Oh, okay.
What way do you think it'll go? Or do you hope it'll go?
Yes, I hope it'll go because I love radio. I think most people that get into radio, they stick at it for an awful long time because I think it's a great career, hobby. Just something about it draws me to it so much. Because I studied architecture, and do radio, and you think that they probably don't have that much of a link. I would love to get into kind of architecture and the media and broadcasting that, so maybe following the footsteps of Dermot Bannon or something. I like the idea of communicating architecture to the greater public, or maybe making it more accessible, and think it's a kind of niche subject that I feel like I'm knowledgeable in.
Say it hasn't been done before, so you could be onto something there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say that's where I'd like to bring it thus far, or at least it's sort of could be a way of kind of springboarding into maybe larger stations or networks. So maybe it's not something that will always define what I do, but it'll definitely help, and I would like to expand my knowledge in both radio and architecture. So that would be my hopes and dreams, I would think. Something that amalgamating those two together, which is maybe I'm the first person to do that, who knows, but
and you're gonna copyright that.
Yeah, Janie Mac, I better do that.
Come after anyone that goes near the idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hands off, it's mine.
But tell the people, I suppose we'll wind down this episode now, but tell the lovely listeners, where can they find you? Where can they listen to you? Where can they find you on socials and so on?
Okay, my shameless plug. Okay, ready to go. Ready to go. So you can listen to me on 103.2 Dublin City FM. I do the Saturday brunch show from 1 to 2 weekly.
You have great musicians to chat to on it, so
exactly,
that.
Exactly, yeah. And I will be playing Copper Kelly and Keenan Flannery's music again and again, because I have to say, you guys are definitely your sound is both quite original, I must say. And you get a lot of like track submissions and stuff that I would find sound similar or even title similar, but you guys are definitely different in that sense.
You flatter us. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll send you that money later. We will.
Not sending on the euro for the spice bag. And then I guess when it comes to my socials, I'm Alanna Brunton, ALANNA BRUNTON. Instagram, I'm Alanna_Brunton. And if you want to reach out to me, get in contact or feature on the program, you can get me alanabrunton@gmail.com. Other than that, I think that's the best bits to get in touch with me. Thanks very much.
I'll put them in the description there anyway, so people can see it.
Brilliant,
Absolutely. But I suppose, Keenan, where can people find you if they want to find your music?
People
do the obligatory self-promotion end of the episode.
We've done how many episodes now, and we still just are shy at self-promotion.
Yeah, terrible. This is like our 12th episode, I think.
Yeah. Look at us staying strong.
Double digits.
Double digits. There you go. So you can find me, Keenan Flannery music. It's Keenan like Keenan and Kel, Kenan. And then Flannery, like Flannery. And but you can find me Keenan Flannery Music on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, or just look up Keenan Flannery. You'll find everything there as well. I have a new track out since the 6th. And so check out the music video and enjoy that. It's called Manchester Streets. But my song actually isn't the most recent release in the old room. So Copper, tell them where they can find all your stuff.
Yes. Go onto Spotify, iTunes, and Facebook and Instagram, Copper Kelly Music. You'll find me, no problem. And I just released an acoustic EP just Friday. I recorded it last weekend and I released it yesterday. No, what today is today? Sunday. I released it last Friday. So it's out there now. It's just a little short and sweet acoustic EP. Brand new song I co-wrote with Heather Turkington called When Life's Got You Down. And then there's some covers. I did a Sturgill Simpson cover and a Johnny Cash and a Waylon Jennings and things like that. So it's a nice little ditty. But that's out there. And and of course the Art Saddle podcast as well. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us, theartsaddle@gmail.com. And all Facebook and Instagram is the Art Saddle Podcast, at the Art Saddle Podcast. But I think that's all we have to say for this week. Keenan, do you want to add any more?
No. Don't eat yellow snow and just stay smiling. There you go.
Yeah. That's and Alanna, do you want to add any more before we say goodbye to the lovely listeners?
Oh my goodness, it's been brilliant.
On the spot now.
Yeah, I'll be tuning into the podcast again because I had an absolutely great time on it. Really easy chats and got it. I have a lot of like thoughts now about what songs are being ripped off by others. And, be learning that Everly Brothers song as well.
Yeah.
I only did the start of it. Oh, sure, look. Just really good time. And
brilliant.
Yeah, I've nothing else to say, I don't think.
Well, you do know. Sorry, I just want to say, you do know that we're going to take that clip of you singing and we're going to just use that to promote this episode. We're gonna name and shame you, so yeah.
Dream.
I don't have a lighter, but
there's another part of it where it's like, the only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm drinking my life away. There you go, take it, use it, promote it.
Brilliant.
I've no more to say, but I have plenty more to sing, folks.
Just be great to put gee whiz into lyrics.
Gee whiz, it's very 50s. Gee whiz.
We could get copyright claimed for it, though, I suppose.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, let's get on that.
But yeah, I hope you stay with us for our bonus Patreon episode where we will talk all sorts of muck and crap. So stay with us, and if you're on the Patreon, jump over and you can hear that bonus episode. But for now, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next week. And that's a goodbye from me, and a goodbye from everyone else.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you next week.